Good morning and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM for Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. And again, thank you for joining me. It is 2 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. This program is also being carried live via our social media platforms. You may check us out on our YouTube channel. That is ZIZ Online. And you may also view this program via our Facebook page, ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. When we open the phone lines, you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Again, the numbers to call are 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Call and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Let me also say good afternoon and good evening to those of you who are listening from other parts of the world, those as far as France, in the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and even here in the Caribbean region. Thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. And let me wish all of you a very pleasant morning, afternoon, and evening. As usual, when I begin, I like to share updates with you, the listeners, as to what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let me share with you from the Social Security Board a notice of a reform town hall meeting, which takes place tonight at 6. So that's Tuesday, 30th July 2024, at 6 p.m. at the Sadler's Church of God of Prophecy, right here in St. Kitts. And this is an open forum where members of the community can come together to ask questions and share their thoughts and concerns about Social Security reform. Again, that is happening tonight at 6 at the Sadler's Church of God of Prophecy. And it gives you, members of the community, an opportunity to ask questions, share your thoughts and concerns about Social Security reform. Don't let anyone come and tell you what came out of the town hall meeting. I am encouraging you to go, ask all of the questions that you may have, and seek as much information as possible, especially since that Social Security is everybody's business, and ultimately this is going to affect the working population and all people who are paying, in terms of what does it mean, what is the way forward. The Social Security officials have said that it is necessary for there to be a reform of this program, of this scheme, the fund, to ensure its viability and sustainability. So that's tonight at the Church of God of Prophecy. Go on out, ask your questions, share your ideas and suggestions, your concerns and thoughts about Social Security reform. The National Assembly will be meeting on Thursday at 10 a.m. That's this Thursday at 10 a.m. and 2 bills will receive their first reading, while 3 others are slated for a second reading. The Attorney General, Garth Wilkin, will seek leave to introduce and have read a first-time Judge-Alone Trials Bill 2024. Also on the table, we have the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center Agreement Bill, and this will be introduced by the Honorable Senator and Minister responsible for the Environment, Dr. Joel Clark. We also have the second reading of the Non-Government Organizations Amendment Bill, as well as the Companies Amendment Bill 2024. And these bills had their first reading in May of this year. This, of course, the National Assembly will be carried live on ZIZ Radio 96 FM and participating radio stations. It can also be viewed live on TV, Channel 5 here in St. Kitts and Channel 98 in Nevis. It will also be streamed live at www.zizonline.com. If you'd like to get more information about these bills or copies of these bills, you may visit the website www.sknis.gov.kn or their Facebook page for more details. You're listening to the Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. And one final update still as it relates to St. Kitts and Nevis. There is a call for the 2024 National Honours Award nominations. The Prime Minister's Office wishes to inform the general public that the 2024 National Honours Award nomination forms are now available at the security desk at government headquarters there on Church Street. The forms are to be completed and accompanied by a detailed profile of the nominee and submitted to the Cabinet Secretariat, Prime Minister's Office, Government Headquarters. Nominations can also be submitted online, and the deadline for nomination is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. That is tomorrow. And so if you are seeking to have anyone nominated for the National Honours Award, you must submit the form by Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation here on The Edge. We'll open the phone lines in a bit and allow you to call in and make your contribution as well. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Reaching you wherever you are. ZIZ Radio, the golden voice of the nation.
Back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, your host, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. Remember, we are also being carried live via our social media platforms, and so you may check us out on our YouTube channel, that is ZIZ Online, or via Facebook, ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. We'll open the phone lines in a bit, and you may call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916, which is our overseas line. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the Owali Rhythms Steel Orchestra on winning the Bonnie Panorama Contest for Culturama 50 held on Monday night at the Nidax Cultural Complex there in Nevis. They delivered a very thrilling and entertaining performance and performed the winning piece called A Piece of the Road by Speedy. It was a really great competition. I think all of the bands delivered extremely well. There were also guest performances by other steel bands from across the Federation. What stood out to me was there was this group, I think it was Paradise Steel Orchestra, and there was this the age range of the band members for, I believe, Paradise Youth Steel Orchestra was, I would say, perhaps the youngest person was 8 years old. I stand to be corrected. The youngest person was 8 years old, and for me that was very heartwarming. They weren't participating in the competition, but they were there as a guest performer. And in having a conversation with someone there, they talk about, how vibrant the steel pan music and the steel pan culture is in St. Kitts and Nevis, particularly on the island of Nevis. And I say that because I remember going to primary school, and that's where I was first introduced to steel pan at a very young age. And so what the Ministry of Education did, they collaborated with the schools on Nevis to have steel pan offered in the schools. And so they had teachers or the tutors designated for steel pan, and most of the bands that you see on Nevis today, can't necessarily speak for St. Kitts, but speaking from experience, most of the bands and the people who you see playing steel pan today, they started in primary school. And that is as a result of a collaboration between Ministry of Education and the different schools. In particular, the Charlestown Primary School, that's where I attended, and that's where I was first introduced to steel pan music. And it allowed me to develop a love and appreciation for the art form, and to get a better understanding of steel pan music and its history and all of these things. And so it was a really good performance last night, a really good competition. I think all of the bands did well, and I think the general agreement is our future in terms of the preservation of our culture looks bright. What stood out to me as well was 90% of the songs that were played last night were local songs. Of course, this is Culturama 50, and we're looking back at the journey over the last 50 years. And so it is only appropriate for the bands to play mostly local songs. They had the other guest bands, of course. They had a few, songs from across the region. But generally, in terms of the songs that came out of last night's competition, most of them, I say 90% of them, were local songs. And that is absolutely tremendous. It shows that our people are in tune and, are up to the time with what is needed to preserve our culture. It's always good that when we're having these competitions that are not just looked at by people in St. Kitts and Nevis, but looked at by people from across the Caribbean region and further afield. And of course, we have people who are coming good. But it is always good that when we can showcase our talent and, seeing young people do some really wonderful things. And so that for me was very heartwarming. And so again, congratulations to Wally Rhythms Steel Orchestra, as well as the other participating bands. We had the Nevis Community Development Steel Orchestra, yes, as well as the Gifted Youth Steel Orchestra. They all performed very well. And again, congratulations to them, and keep up the good work. My heart was warm last night when I saw these people on stage. And it was not just young people, but it was a mixed. You had older persons as well learning the steel pan. I saw a few teachers on stage who played steel pan when I was in primary school, because at Charlestown Primary we had the steel pan group for the students, and then there was a steel pan group for the teachers. And I saw a few teachers on stage playing. I was like, wow, look at how fast time flies. Teachers still here playing steel pan, which is really, really good. And of course they had the crowd very much engaged and very much entertained. So I can definitely say that last night's staging of the panorama contest was absolutely amazing. It's 11:17. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls for us to have an open discussion about the things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Every now and then I like to come and do an open discussion to hear from you, the listeners. Let's go. We have our first call for this morning. Yeah. Caller, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Devon.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You hear me?
Hold on, let me adjust my volume.
Yeah, right. Devon. Hello. Yeah, hello.
What about culture? He adjusting his volume.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Carl, I'm hearing you a little bit.
Turn up your volume.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. But how come we ain't gonna have the boom, boom, boom in the competition last night?
Well, the truth is I was a judge last night.
Oh, so you could judge good?
I couldn't go on the stage. You ever could judge good?
Yeah.
Well, me here nobody making the noise about the results, so I think I did. I did justice.
Okay, maybe you judge. Maybe you judge dread. Now, I have a serious competition.
Okay.
And it is something mind-boggling. Now you can tell me, all these years I've been hearing, and we've been hearing, every now and then police are going to say they take another gun off the street. That was good. Now if the police find a gun in an old abandoned house, and nobody in there with the gun sitting down and they take it up, well, they can't go hold anybody unless they got the fingerprint already on record, and then the fingerprint and the gun, what they find, they say, oh, that fingerprint match this. But when they find me with a gun and ammunition in my vehicle, they have all the questions with answers to be filled by asking me everything from A to Z till they reach the market that is selling them. Then they would be able to curb crime a lot, because they would be able to stop the gun them from coming in. But if they can just say, well, they find a gun in my car and they can just charge me, why would they charge me 3 years or whatever money?
But wait,
that ain't not enough.
I think I might have missed something. So how you say they're gonna stop the guns from coming in?
Once they do all the questions and that's supposed to be asked for information by me, who they catch with the gun, they're supposed to ask me where I get it, how I get it, who.
But the
how much I pay for it, all the questions them. There are answers to be filled. But if they ain't doing that, they ain't gonna be able to stop the gun them from coming in. And by asking the amount of questions, they're gonna reach by the market, the agent who's selling them. And then once they reach there is a serial number on every gun, and they could trace come right back down, and they would be able to curtail these guns from coming in here. Now, every government that run this country and they go into parliament, none of them touching capital punishment, None of them. Because what? When they touch capital punishment, me might got a cousin shoot somebody innocently, they ain't do them nothing, and 4 hours in the house voting for that government. And if they put capital punishment for my cousin who kills somebody, they're going to say, we're going to lose 4 votes in there. So the ex-them on the T-shirt and the ex-them for the parliamentarian, they mean more than people's lives. Look at this young lady we did last week, and other people who get shot down innocently. 3 years ago up the mountain, they killed a man up there in the ground. Shot the man in the ground and the man didn't do them nothing. And what gonna happen now? They're gonna say, well, okay, for the time they're in prison, we give them 9 years and we're gonna take out for the time they're in prison. And they're going in, they're gonna live. That is not good enough. Let it deal with the gun business, man. Trace it down. Anyway, go ahead.
But I wanted to ask you a quick question, though.
Yeah.
You were talking about, in terms of stopping guns coming in to St. Kitts and Nevis, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying that if they ask the appropriate questions, then that would help to curb the guns or stop the guns from coming in. Now, I like to be realistic, and some people don't like when I be realistic, but I'm going to be realistic nevertheless, right?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
I've never been a police officer, and I've never been a part of the police force, but I can guarantee you that the police ask those very same questions that you just asked a while ago in terms of where the gun come from. But let's be realistic. If you catch a man with a gun, right, and you ask him where he get the gun from, you think he gonna tell you? He not gonna tell you.
Why?
He not. Why?
Look.
Let's look at a child. You have a child, right? And your child do something wrong. Your child thief a cookie out the cookie jar, right?
Yeah.
And you go and ask the child if he thief the cookie. The child gonna tell you no. The child gonna bring up, oh God, look, they ain't thief the cookie. And they do it.
But look here.
Because you know why? Because if the child tell you that they thief the cookie, you're gonna bang them.
Yeah, but look here now. Yes, that's true. But let me tell you something, prolong, okay? Okay, you how you to get to it, so you're gonna say you ain't thief it? Okay, we ain't how we to let you go. And we ain't gonna let you go out in here until we get the facts from you. A lot of people get shot and they don't want to say what happened. Okay, fine, because they feel like retaliation if they talk. If you starve a dog in your yard, don't give it no food. You got it in the toy and they won't get no food. What do you think will happen to it?
But at the same time, Carla, remember their laws, and you can't just hold somebody without sufficient grounds to charge.
You catch me with it in my car?
For example, if you hold me on suspicion of a crime, right?
Yes,
and
suspicion,
you didn't have any proof that I did something, I think you could only hold me for a certain period. You can't hold me there for forever until you get information.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about suspicion. I'm talking you catch me with the gun in my car.
But yeah, but
and you're supposed to get all the information.
Yeah, but sometimes
where you get that from.
Sometimes you catch somebody with something but ain't them one.
Listen, look, I can't get away if you catch me with it. Red-handed. Anyway, let somebody is coming with the opinion.
Okay, we want to take
Thank you very much.
We want to take some more callers. Yes. Thank you so much. Let's take this other call. You're on the air. Good morning.
Okay, good morning.
Yes.
Please allow me and let me explain something about this gun trafficking thing. The manufacturer of the gun, like Smith & Wesson, Glock, and the other gun manufacturers, when they make the gun, they have a serial number on the gun. No one person could order gun from the manufacturer. It got to be a gun dealer, a licensed gun dealer the manufacturer gun deal with. To that gun dealer, there is paperwork, serial number, gun, color, handle, everything on that piece of paper with that gun. Now I come to you, to the dealer, to buy a gun. The dealer is going to do a background check on me. The dealer going to know my identification, my residence, and if I got crime or being prohibited for having a gun. I get the gun and I send the gun St. Kitts. What you want to tell me? When it comes St. Kitts and St. Kitts police them hold a gun, they can go back to the dealer to find out the manufacturer, let us back check the manifesto, who they ship that gun to, and then when they find out who the dealer was they ship it to, the dealer must have records to say he sell it to John Smith.
Not to cut you off, right? When you buy guns in the U.S., most guns are bought under very weak gun laws, right? That's one. Two, the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force does not have any jurisdiction in the U.S. So no police force in the region for that matter. So no police force could go in the U.S. and question any...
When I hear them say
Caller,
they have the FBI training. Come on, brother. When you hear them say they have the FBI training our forces, the FBI could assist. They have the resources.
You gonna listen?
Well, I'm telling you, I used to live in the States, you know, and if you want to know about violations, I know about them. I used to be in there.
All right.
You understand?
Okay.
So you need to listen. The criminal is talking to you.
All right. All right.
You got to check them out. The FBI could help them find out who the last dealer had that gun. Then the dealer can say who came and buy it. It is not so weak in America like before.
Caller.
If you're dealing with the NRA and them thing there, them clubs there, well, they don't get out of the gun by bulk and distribute to who they want to. But I know they could track the gun. Okay? Believe me.
God have mercy. Chubby right off, huh? We have a call on the line? Let's take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Yes, good morning, good morning.
I think I want to divert a little bit. I know you're speaking about guns and gun concern issues, right? Mm-hmm. But I have a concern. And my concern is pertaining to Culturama and the wages being administrated. I mean, I am living in America. I come home here. I come home to Nevis, and I have my 4 children along with my husband, right? And I'm understanding that I think it's the Queen show. If it's not Miss Culture, it's the Caribbean culture show, wherever they're having. But one of the prices, I'm not pleased with it. Because if I come home with 4 children under 12, why do I have to pay $25 for a child under 12 years? When in truth and in fact, you may find that the child go to the show and maybe half of the show, the child fall asleep. But because we came all the way from America to be in Culturama 50. So I take my children with me. I don't think we should be, if that, the price should not be so high. $25 for a child under 12? Under 12, Mr. Cornelius?
Yeah, I hear you, yeah.
So if you have 4 children, if you work with 4 children, you have to find $100 plus the adult price. Mm-hmm. And I thought jurisdiction tells us, the law tells us, you must be 16 in order to be labeled adult. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. So then how come you have...
depending on which country, but yes, you're on
in St. Kitts Nevis, 16, I think, is consenting age, right? So then how come you break...
I think it's 18.
18, okay, 18.
Yeah.
18 is consenting. So how come you break it down to a child age at 12 and under? I mean, above 12, 13. You break it down to 30 because they say 12 and under have to pay $25. Mm-hmm. I don't think that is right. I don't think. I mean, they should revisit. I mean, they can't revisit it now because it's not really set. But I think it's, to say the least, it's not fair. To say the least, it's not fair. I don't know what is the listening audience take on that, but that is just my input.
All right. Okay, thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
It's the Golden Jubilee celebration of Nevis's Culturama Festival, and 6 schools will contest the Culturama 50 Republic Bank Mr. and Miss Talented Youth Pageant, but there can only be one winner. Who will it be? Representing the Ivor Walters Primary School, home of the Mustangs, are Kimani Lawrence and Zenobia Johnson, proudly sponsored by the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Representing the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School, home of the Lions, are Dylan Elliott and Zakir Stapleton, proudly sponsored by Lefco Equipment and Rental. Representing the St. Thomas's Primary School, home of the Jaguars, are Alwyn Douglas Jr. and Kayecha Nisbet, proudly sponsored by National Caribbean Insurance. Representing the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary School, home of the Blue Dragons, are Tejani Daniel and Zion France, proudly sponsored by Odie Brisbane Limited and Grace Foods. Representing the Charlestown Primary School, home of the Tigers, are Kadeem Taylor and Shajne Keynes, proudly sponsored by the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority. And representing the Joycelyn Liebert Primary School, home of the Falcons, are Nitram Mathura and Alicia Hendrickson, proudly sponsored by Clive Evelyn Construction. So, mark your calendars to be at the Nevis Cultural Complex on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024 from 7 p.m. to witness the highly anticipated Republic Bank Mr. and Miss Talented Youth Pageant as 6 schools battle for the prestigious Culturama 50 title of Mr. and Miss Talented Youth. Admission, children 12 years and under, $25. General admission, $50. Gates, $60. Tickets can be purchased at the Culturama Secretariat Box Office in the Cotton Ginnery Mall and online at www.culturamanevis.com. So don't miss the chance to represent your school in the Culturama 50 Republic Bank Mr. and Miss Talented Youth Pageant. Miss it and you will regret it.
Throughout the Caribbean, we boast a diverse abundance of flora and fauna that adorn our countries. This diversity follows through to our people, communities, and families.
As a doctor, I treat my patients with respect and understanding, without stigma or discrimination, no matter their sexual orientation, practice, or belief. Remember, everybody deserves a fair treatment.
As a mother and healthcare professional, I believe all Caribbean children should be safe, happy, and healthy. Let us create a safe, supportive environment for all Caribbean children to thrive.
Let us treat our LGBTQ+ family members with love and respect. Strong families create a stronger Caribbean. This message is brought to you by the Eastern Caribbean Alliance for Diversity and Equality, ECAID.
Watch the trail of the insects stop when you spray them with pop. Flying, crawling, insects are falling when you spray them with pop. Nothing comes close to pop. Pop, the number one brand.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius. Thank you for joining me in the program. The phone lines are open and we take your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, please don't cut me off. We can't always call to say what you are saying. All over the world have problem. Lot of people live here from all over the world. The stabbing in Southport, all those flowers, they should have give the parents the money. And we have people from India too. So India have problem. Now with Venezuela, when people don't want a government like here, they must not force themselves. They must not force themselves on people. We have embassy here and all over too. And they go away every day too. See you.
All right. Thank you for your contribution to the program. I did say it's an open ear, so I'm not stopping anybody from saying anything. The phone lines are open. We take your calls. It's 11:37. You are listening to The Edge, and let me say thank you so much for joining me in the program for today. It's an open discussion, giving you the callers an opportunity to call in and lend your voice to the conversation. Let's take this call. Hello, caller on the air. Good morning.
Hello. A blessed good morning, right?
Good morning.
1967, when they had the shoot out here in St. Kitts, when one of the reps of the one National Bank go Anguilla, nobody will not make no lot of noise because they were afraid of them, and I was afraid of them too. Our boy was small, but I hear the lot of shots them. So, ain't no, a long time gonna come a St. Kitts, not just now. But we got to be careful with these guns here, because some people will give you a bag to hold, and you hold the bag, and when you hold the bag, you don't know why in it, and when the police come by your door, you lock up, but the person guns can see. And looking at the factory, them, the St. Kitts Bus factory, we're going to soon shut down. I hope the government got some work for them and everything. You take care too. Good program.
All right, you too, and have a wonderful day. You're listening to The Edge in ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. Let's head back to the phone lines and we take some more calls. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Devon, I'm back.
Yes.
I don't know if you are aware what took place 2017, just after the hurricane. Vincent Sean, who lives in St. Martin, he was caught down Newton Ground Bay with a sniper's rifle in a backpack. And you're going to tell me they just take away the gun and the marijuana away in the back and send him back to St. Martin? He should have served time here. So what that tells you, what that tell he and other people? Always he could say, well, boy, I went up so this year to do a job, and they catch me, but they just take the gun and send me back. That is wrong. Punishment is punishment to anybody. Doesn't matter who you be, now watch your face.
Do you know if he's serving time back home?
Well, I don't know about down there, about here.
Okay.
But he ain't serving the time here. He's here, they catch him with it.
Okay.
And he should have been in 1840 like other people who in there with the bend cut and the catapult. Thank you.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. We have some more callers who are coming in, and so we'll take this call. Hello, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good in God, thanks. And peace to our nation. I'm just listening and hearing about, I'm centered around crime. Everybody calling in and they have their opinion that, they're support crime, to give their input and output, helping. But what I want everyone to know, crime fighting is everyone's business. The only difference is the police is the only person, a group of people, when you get in before, is legally charged to get that done. So therefore, they have citizens arrest, so if you can arrest the person, you can arrest the person. But crime starts in the mind. And even though all the laws are there, you still have to work on the mind of the person to change. And I'm just calling every citizen, every national sentiment, everyone in the border. Just listen carefully. There are a number of things you can do to make us a better person to work across them. However, things are not, some people might say, easy, because they're different. But then the majority of us are a believing person, even God-fearing person, will have a better opinion. But the police force.
Hello? We lost that caller. Caller, could you please call us back, 465-2555 or 718? I'm seeing that they're still on the line. It looks so, but we're not hearing them. All right, you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We're having an open discussion, and we take your calls to participate in our conversation for today. If you are just tuning in, if I can do a bit of a recap. The first caller raised concern about gun trafficking in the region and basically how to curb it, and offered some suggestions and solutions to that issue. Let me stick a pin and I'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good day, good morning. I hope you're not on to a special topic today.
No, it's an open discussion.
Thank you. We were saying out in the country, monking our limb to jump on it. I'm speaking in reference to the events in Paris and the Olympics. I would bet any kind of money they would have never done that to the Muslims. And if I had my power, I would have withdrawn the sinking steam and tell them come home and have a vacation somewhere about the place. Thank you very much.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. We are taking your calls here on The Edge. It's 11:42. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If we could take a pause on the calls, I wanted to say that for those of you who are just tuning in, the first caller raised concerns about gun trafficking in the Caribbean, and the fact that guns are not made here, but there are guns in our region. And I was making the point that in the US there are very lax gun laws, and that is how guns are bought in the US. And according to research, these guns are shipped to criminal groups in the region. These guns are shipped to criminal groups in the region. There is no police force in the Caribbean that has jurisdiction in the United States of America. So a police force from the Caribbean cannot go up there and question any organization. What they can do is collaborate with the Department of Justice or a law enforcement agency to try to find out. But I go back to the point that I made earlier, that I'm not a police, I've never been a police, but I'm 100% sure that all of those efforts have been tried. But you see, I like to be realistic, and some people don't like it, and that's fine. And I'll say this: there are prominent people in the Caribbean who do not want peace. They do not want to stop the crime. They do not want to stop gun and drug trafficking because they are benefiting from it. And so while there are people, good people within government and police and you name it, who are making every effort to ensure the safety and security of Caribbean citizens and residents, there are some very dark people. Very, very dark people. And so when you have those good ones who are making strides in terms of implementing stricter gun laws and different measures to curb gun trafficking and drug trafficking and all of the different types of crime here in the region, there are some people in unfortunately high places, and this is a known thing, who are abusing their position. Then we have the porous borders. Our borders need better controlling, better security, and that is how the guns are getting into the region. The studies are, the reports are there to show. The reports are there to show. So I'm not disputing that, yes, the guns come with a serial number and all of that. I wasn't born yesterday. But I'm being realistic. That it sounds good. I mean, anybody could come here and say that. It sounds good. And it's perhaps easier said than done. But nevertheless, we applaud the efforts of our armed forces in the region. And I think that they have been doing their best under the circumstances. And I think that they have been getting every support. Do they need more support? Absolutely. And I think we must come to the point where we ask ourselves, how can I help? Now, a caller made the point, the first caller made the point about fingerprint and what have you. And I remember I was having this conversation with somebody about, there being a fingerprint database here in St. Kitts. And they were saying, yes, the police and the government need to do that because they show up to crime scene and they take fingerprint and they ain't got nothing to do with it. And I asked the person, would you consent to a fingerprint? Like if the police call and say, they're doing a national database and they want to collect all the fingerprints, would you consent? The person said no. And I left them right there high and dry. I said, you can't be